First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to Yakim and you, what they believe in all sincerity. So as you see here, Iran responded to the Trump Department of Defense with a video of their own, okay? And as of late, Iran has been making videos like this, okay, exposing America. And as you see here, okay, this is basically Iran depicting vengeance on America, right? That missile hitting the Statue of Liberty. And as you see that head right there is the head of Baal. And it says one vengeance for all. Okay? These other nations, they want vengeance. They want, and they're showing, look, the Native Americans, they're showing Japan, Hiroshima, you see, Vietnam, Yemen, Palestine, Epstein Island, okay, Iran. These are some of the places and some of the people, right? Qasem Soleimani, Ayatollah Khomeini, that, you know, America has, you know, violated, if you will. Okay? This is Habakkuk chapter 2. Okay? And I'll start at 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And so what you're seeing here is, you know, Esau, Edom, you know, getting involved in wars throughout the world because he wants to, you know, basically take, you know, from these other nations, man. They take resources. You know, this war is nothing more than, you know, a resource grab, you know, mainly the oil. Okay. And Iran doesn't have a centralized bank, which America can control. Yeah. So he you know, he transgressed by wine. He's over there negotiating with himself, because Iran, they're not negotiating with the United States. So they're lying to the people. He's transgressing by his wine, by his philosophies. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. That's Esau, Edom. You can see that in Trump's arrogant face, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right? So all America does is rape, rob, and murder other nations. All right? Label their dictators as, label these other nations' leaders as dictators so they can instill puppet masters. This is what they do. You know, that this is how they heap all these nations unto themselves and you know, make them partake of that Babylonian wine, their philosophies. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laded himself with the clay. Okay, so this is that taunting proverb. All right, this is these nations making videos, making fun of America, because you see, they know the prophecy of Ezekiel 38. They know that they're part of the nations that are going to take America down. That's just the truth. We'll get this in Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. All right? And as you see, they're constantly outing this Epstein thing. Okay? The Ep files, they're constantly outing, all right, that these you know, these elitist, you know, Trump, and not a Jew, you know, Ep himself, Jeb Ep, and you know, the rest of these guys, Clinton, the Clintons, and many more celebrities and prominent, quote unquote, prominent people in America are really PDF files. You know, they really are PDF files. They drink blood. They sacrifice, you know, children and whatnot. This is going to be the nail in the coffin. People are starting to see what American elitists are really about. And there was an individual, I forget his name, but he on the Iran side, he was basically saying that we got a problem with their elitists. We got a problem with their rulers, with their leaders, not with the American people. Okay, but ultimately they're speaking about Esau, Edom. You see, so they're shame. They're shaming what they're doing, and their glory is now tainted. Okay, they're being uncovered. Their secret parts, their secrets are being uncovered. Okay, and that cup that they've made many drink of. Okay, they're ultimately going to drink of it themselves. All right, there's a saying in the world: what goes around comes around. They're going to have to partake of it too. All right, let's go back up. This is Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? Right, woe unto them. Woe, destruction unto you who try to increase what's not yours. You want the oil, you want to overtake the the Strait of Hormuz, which they're saying that there's landmines in there, and then they're taunting the Americans to come close, get closer, so they can get blown up. Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? You see, and these nations are waking up. These nations are waking up and saying, you know what, we got to stop this. Kim Jong-un, he said that he's with Iran. Okay, the leader of Iraq, I heard him too. He said too that he officially is in the war now against America. They're gonna awake, and they're gonna ultimately America's gonna get taken for a booty. All right, for a plunder. Okay, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Yeah, they've spoiled many nations, so now the nations are looking at them like, it's our time. It's time. It's time to stop this bitch, meaning Babylon the Great, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and of all that dwell therein. Okay. Yeah, because of the blood and the violence of the land. Wherever America goes, they shed blood and cause violence, and you see it in that video. There's a couple videos that have gone out too, to be honest. They shed blood in all these lands. You saw it. Native Americans, Yemen, Vietnam, their leaders, they want revenge. Woe to him that covereth the evil covetous to his house, that he may set his nest on high, and that he may be delivered from the power of evil. It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. Yeah. By cutting off many people, they've sinned against their soul. All right? Look at Hiroshima. The bombs that they dropped. That's horrific. Okay? This is Jeremiah 50. And 22, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How was Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And that's the prophecy. America will fall. And these other countries, they know the prophecies. America's that hammer of the earth. They go around hammering everybody. The nations are the nail, and America's the hammer. How it says, how will Babylon become a desolation among nations? Because America's about to be desolated. Okay, that abysm of destruction. These nations that shoot arrows, quote unquote missiles, they're going to sweep America with the abysm of destruction. All right, America's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. I have lit a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So there's a trap being set. These nations are waking up. These nations are rising up. Okay. And America is about to be trapped because of their violence, because of the bloodshed, because of lands that they took, because of the spoiling of others' goods. Okay, they're about to be found out that they're pedophiles, that they're wicked, that they're Esau, Edom. They're the fugitive and the vagabond. They have striven against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They have crucified the Lord in this country, in this great city. Okay. It says, the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. And the Chaldeans were the wise men of Babylon. And that's what these, elitists, okay, that's what they signify. They signify the Chaldeans, right? Your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your not a Jews. Your Trump, which, Trump is a little lower on the totem pole, but the Lord he's going to use his weapons of indignation, which is those missiles. And that's why you saw in the video that missile that shot into the Statue of Liberty, which the top of it was really Baal, showing you that they know that these devils worship Baal. Okay, it says, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. You see? So, yeah, destroy her utterly. It says, cast her up as heaps. America's gonna be a heap of crap. Let nothing be left to her. Slay all her bullocks. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape out of Babylon, out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahweh our power, the vengeance of his temple. Listen to the people who have escaped from Babylon as they tell in Jerusalem how the Lord our power has taken vengeance against those who destroyed his temple. And who's his temple? Okay, the Israelites. Okay, this is all accumulation of their sins against Israel, the true Israelites. Okay, and we know there's a great insurrection against those that fear the Lord. The Heavenly Father is going to make a move for them, for the bloodshed of the Israelites. Okay, those that are fleeing out of the midst of Babylon, because they know what's going to happen. They're telling the truth about America being destroyed, the vengeance of the Heavenly Father, because of what they've done to our people. Okay, starting with the elect. It says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done. Do unto her, for she hath been proud against Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, against the Holy One of Israel. You see? The archers, man. It's not talking about archers. It's talking about missiles. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. That's these nations that are waking up. Okay, they're going to shoot their missiles on America. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work. Right, according to what she did. Okay, do you see how they put the Native Americans in there? They know. Okay, even Putin was saying, Mexico was saying that too. Like, America has no fingers to point when America was built off slavery. No other nation had people like in chains like here in America. So yeah, recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done. Do unto her, for she had been proud against Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. You see? Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith Yahweh. Because behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Most High of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. You see, that day is coming. That day is coming. America, UK, that is ran by Esau, Edom, is being discovered. These nations are putting it out there. So, the men of the Lord are putting it out there. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Yeah. Isaiah 47:12. This whole chapter is good. 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You see that? America dwells carelessly. They think nothing's going to happen here. Trump is delusional. Okay, that's how sick these Edomites are. They truly think that no one knows about the prophecies of them being destroyed, and they're being proud, talking about they're having peace talks with Iran. Iran saying that that's bogus. You see, that's them dwelling carelessly. That sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And again, as you saw that the Statue of Liberty, right, which is a Freemason sign, okay, a missile was shot on it, and they showed the head of Baal fall into the sea, because they're idol worshippers, man. They're witches, they're warlocks. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Right? So that's how they run America. Through that wisdom, that knowledge. Okay, it's perverted. It's a left-hand side priesthood, if you would. And they think they're the only one, that they can get away with this, that the Lord's not going to do nothing to them. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Yeah, the Lord coming like a thief in the night. They're going to be taken in all their devices, because they're just men, okay? So disaster will overtake you, and you won't be able to charm it away. Calamity will fall upon you, and you won't be able to buy your way out. A catastrophe will strike you suddenly, one for which you are not prepared. Yeah, because it's prophecy. It's the will of the Lord. Okay? Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. That are wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Yeah. They have to answer for their enchantments, their sorceries that they have been doing since they've came into existence. The lies, the manipulation. You see? The false balances of money, the society, and the philosophy they push. Okay, the truth of what they're really involved in. Okay, the EP files, all this, man. And they're done. They're through. They don't even know what to do, man. Their wisdom is failing them. Right? It says, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. Let's get this in the NLT. But they are like straw burning in a fire. They cannot save themselves from the flame. You will get no help from them at all. Their hearth is no place to sit for warmth. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be burnt up. And it's not some fire that you can sit at. It's going to be toasty. No, it's going to be devastating. It says, thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. Right? The business partners ain't going to be able to save them. Their allies don't want nothing to do with them. NLT, all your friends, those whom you've done business since childhood, will go their own ways, turning a deaf ear to your cries. And so you got EU, you got NATO saying that they don't want nothing to do with America. They don't want nothing to do with this war. Okay? Because ultimately, everybody's starting to see America for what they truly are. The bully of the earth. Okay? We can't say it enough that prophecy is happening according, exactly on time, according to the scriptures, man. Okay? They shall hate the whore and burn her. These nations are going to turn on America. They're doing it quietly. They're quietly detaching from America, okay, to ultimately make a move against her. You see? Because everyone's tired. Everyone's, especially, this about the EP files and what they've been doing on EP Island. That's it. It's a wrap. You cannot negotiate with individuals like that. You know, they're like that deaf adder that stop at their ear. They're not listening. They can't. They refuse. And once you see an individual like that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You can no longer, you know, rationalize with America. You know, they're through. They're Looney Tunes, man, in suits. You know, professional liars, man. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Wicked. Okay, they're wicked. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. But yeah, just wanted to bring this out. Lord willing, you were edified. You know, keep an eye out for these videos. They're insightful to say the least. You know, their take on America. You know, these Iranians, these other nations, they're not blind. They're not blind like Americans, man. They see America for who they truly are. All right, so Lord willing, you were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokakwadash, dub honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Akim, and you, Ak, with they believe in all sincerity. Shalom.